All right, it's the Top Voice segment on the show. We talk more about what's happening in Bangladesh with Dr. Mahidi Amin, who is advisor to the BNP chief, to talk more about what's happening in Bangladesh and BNP's plan and agenda. Dr. Amin, help us through what is the agenda that BNP has for Bangladesh.
Well, thank you for inviting me today. In Bangladesh, there is a lot of ongoing conversation about the reforms, the plans, and it's encouraging that many of these ideas have already been outlined in the BNP's 31-point framework for structural reforms. This shows how deeply the main political party of today's Bangladesh is integrated with the aspirations and sentiments of the nation. Our 31-point framework is it's built upon the achievements, ideologies, and ambitions of BNP statesmen across generations, drawing from Sheikh President Ziaur Rahman's 19-point program, BNP Chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia's Vision 2030, and our acting chairman, Mr. Tariq Rahman's 27-point charter, which was announced in 2022. And finally, based on the consensus of political parties involved in the simultaneous movement to restore democracy, Mr. Tariq Rahman declared a 31-point outline in July 2023 as part of a broader consensus. As he said, as Mr. Tariq Rahman and the BNP believe, when we talk about reforms, we are aiming for real, meaningful changes, not just changing a few lines or paragraphs in the Constitution. For us, reforms mean ensuring stable living, having the financial security, and ensuring the savings for every family. It means creating jobs for both men and women, addressing unemployment across the nation without any division. For Mr. Tariq Rahman, as a policy proposal for future shows, reforms should only ensure safety for every citizen, provide modern education that also teaches moral values, deliver the healthcare system that people deserve, and stabilize the market price to keep essential products affordable. Reforms must guarantee fair wages for garments, for workers, for farmers, for laborers, and for working class citizens across all professions. Now, to make all this possible and to prevent the return of an authoritarian rule that we have witnessed in the last 16 years, Mr. Tariq Rahman himself has proposed a constitutional amendment ensuring that nobody can serve as the Prime Minister for more than 2 successive terms.
You're advising the acting chairman of BNP. Tell us that do the constitutional changes that BNP wants also includes changing the country's constitution from secular to Islamic?
Now, as I said, it's not about changing paragraphs, it's not about changing sentences. It's about changing in a way that's reflected by people's aspirations. And we are a country that always holds together all the religions. There is no religious division. So we want to be together with same rights, same freedoms, based on equality.
Dr. Amin, what about the elections? When do you think they should happen? When should the return of democracy be in Bangladesh?
You know, we all know that the economy is in serious trouble right now, and so are many other sectors. But solution to these deep-rooted problems need to have long-term initiatives, which should be implemented by an elected government with a public mandate. So in terms of elections, we need some reforms, but there are 4 specific reforms which are essential areas critical to holding a free, fair, and credible election. Those are the Election Commission, law enforcement agencies, civil bureaucracy, and the judiciary. So all of these are very critical to holding an election that's fair and were deeply politicized and exploited by the Sheikh Hasina regime. So hence, we require immediate reforms in these 4 areas. But in general, the interim government should consult with political parties and experienced stakeholders before taking any major steps. We believe they should aim to implement election-related reforms only, and the rest can be kept in proposals for the future elected government as a suggested framework for long-term change. So the pro-democracy people of Bangladesh share a common aspiration to complete the nation's democratic transition and to fulfill the people's right to vote. As holding the much anticipated election is the main job of the interim government, as you mentioned, so we should expect from them to outline a pragmatic roadmap with measurable delivery goals, and for them to decide and define the scope of the reforms they would like to make, and then ensure the election in the fastest possible time to ensure the public's mandate.
Surely you have a view that this is an interim government and it's interim. It has to make way for a proper government. When do you think that should happen?
Yep, the name says it all, right? It's interim. The main job is to ensure a free, fair, and credible election and return the power of the people so that their voice is heard to rebuild the nation. So people's aspiration has to be fulfilled, and that can only be achieved through an election that's inclusive and participatory for the people.
Okay. Finally, what is your view, or what is BNP's view as far as relationship with India is concerned, given that it's one of the most consequential relationships for Bangladesh?
We'd like to form people-to-people connections, and as I said, we want to create a relation based on equality, justice, and fairness, and have tremendous friendship among the two nations in every level.
All right, Dr. Amin, thanks for giving that perspective from Dhaka in terms of what's happening in Bangladesh right now.